The skip tracer Randy required Bailey's assistance. He had fallen in love. He developed feelings for Chastity. She was the fiancée of Peter, who was Bailey's brother-in-law as well as Nolan's brother. She was unable to assist Randy in robbing Peter's girlfriend. Bailey attempted to make an excuse about his job. If they didn't get a move on, she and her husband would be late for work, she warned. Randy was the only one prepared to give the couple $100,000 in exchange for 10 minutes of their time. He claimed that years ago someone used a Bitcoin wallet to pay him. He just got around to checking it since he believed it to be rubbish. In Bitcoin he was now worth almost $100 million. Because it rhymes better, he refers to himself as a millionaire. Randy still had a lot of money. The couple couldn't refuse his offer because they also required a new roof. They both offered him gift suggestions. Randy found Lucy because he believed such concepts were terrible. That day Lucy was riding with Selena. They were women and young. Randy pleaded with them for assistance. They attempted to explain to him that women merely desire to be heard. He heard them. He disregarded them after that. Chastity was practicing with a pile of gifts when he arrived at her strip club. Diamonds were among them. Additionally, before he ever asked her out, he proposed to her. Chastity made an effort to be nice. She was with Peter, she reminded him. She was prepared to reject him, but when he said he was worth millions, Chastity realized she needed to reconsider. She simply couldn't wed him. She immediately declined the offer. Rather, she proposed a situation involving a sugar daddy. She had to get it past Peter as well. Randy was satisfied that she was willing to have a non-exclusive relationship with him. Two males approached him as he was leaving the strip club and attempted to rob him. Thank goodness they had no guns. Since they had knives, Randy was able to wield them with ease by himself. And Nolan appeared. Randy was on the phone with Nolan when he almost got stabbed. Additionally, when Chastity was later abducted, he was speaking with her on the phone. The worst thing Randy has ever done was boast about his $1 million fortune at a strip club. People were now robbing him from every nook and cranny. Since they were unable to reach him, they took the best possible action. The woman he was much in love with was seized by them. He wouldn't be aware of these things if nobody was attempting to include Nolan in the complex issue, or participated in the investigation of several crimes. In exchange for a Porsche, Nolan's brother consented to the sugar daddy arrangement. Sharing Chastity was acceptable to him. Chastity was the one who remained hesitant. To get advice, she gave Nolan a call. For many of these people, Nolan was the father they wished they had but did not have. They frequently ask him for assistance. When Nolan tells them he doesn't want to be engaged, they nevertheless involve him despite his best efforts to be kind. This worked in this case because he needed backup to find Chastity after learning that she was in danger. Normally, this would have piqued the interest of both Nyla and Angela, but the detectives were working on another case. Nyla's mother had been defrauded of her home, so Ruth joined a Facebook group called We Love Old Houses, where members were encouraged to post pictures of their homes. Priscilla, who was in charge of the group, offered to help Ruth put her house in a trust, but Ruth signed documents without reading them. The purpose of the documents was not to place the house in a trust. Ruth essentially gave Priscilla ownership of her house. Now that Priscilla was evicting her, she was learning about it. Ruth had too much faith. She was and always has been. Nyla wasn't prepared for life by her. When Nyla entered the world, she had to discover its savagery. Nyla was also unaware that Ruth and Angela's mother Amelia were great friends. Amelia was unaware of the scam. She wanted to help her friend too. In order to catch Priscilla, Amelia consented to act as though Angela's house belonged to her. Priscilla was enticed to the mansion. She claimed to be putting the house in a trust, but Amelia caught her in the act. She said Amelia would be allowed to remain in her house, but the documents didn't say that. For fraud, Priscilla was taken into custody. Ruth may even be able to reclaim her home. Angela spent enough time helping her husband, who was in a moral bind, but her main goal was to permanently stop Priscilla. Wes was facing a case against an Eastern Front member, which was the problem.